Hey, it's Christmas. Hope you like the tree. The topic of this video I thought would be interesting because my biggest success on YouTube is also my biggest failure. So in YouTube terms, a lot of times, hope you don't mind, I'm just doing some chores here at the same time. Got some laundry to fold. And I'm also waiting for the water to boil. Don't take any offense that you're just one part of a massive multitasking. In YouTube terms, success is generally how many views you have. And my highest view count on any video is what impresses this American, or things that impress an American about Germany. It's a German-speaking video, so the title is also German. Was einen Amerikaner von Deutschland beeindruckt. Or something like that. And it's got the most views and is also the biggest failure because it has attracted views from a totally wrong demographic of people. First of all, the skew male-female is like 92% to 8%. So whatever that means, I don't know. I'll leave it to you to figure that out. I'm not sure what it means, but to me, it means like crazy people. And a lot of people just watch the video because it's just kind of like an interesting, normal video. Like, I'm just talking about random crap. The problem is that I speak too good German. Not trying to throw shade on anyone, but I speak too good German. That's not even correct English. And it's not even true. Like, I don't speak that well. I don't even speak that well in English. How about this? Like, you want to find a good topic for a YouTube video, how to fold the sheets that have that stretchy thing in there. I've heard a couple of different, or at least, I don't know, I think I've heard a couple of different methods. Main thing is you can't try and fold it based on the stretchy thing. You either fold it by the corners, or you just say, I'm not doing anything normal because it's a crazy sheet. I'm going to actually just fold it like an extension cord. And I honestly think this works much better. But so these people see the German and they're like, wow, whoa, look at the ability of this dude to integrate. And what inspired me to make this video was the thought that I want to explain to people what it means to me to integrate, and also why everyone likes me. Of course, it's not 100% true, but I'll explain that part a little bit after I get started on my definition of integration. So, like, for me, it's not really about me honoring your traditions. It's about me being able to win an argument. Or whatever, convince a person. I don't want to have a disadvantage in an argument just because of my language ability. And I don't want to have a disadvantage in convincing you to do the right thing because I can't say it. That's it. That's what it means to me. Like, it's a practical tool. What do I have to gain by learning about bakeries and things? Like, nothing really. I just want to be good at life so that I can exert my own influence on people, which I think is a good influence, you know, no drugs, veganism, healthy, ride your bike, live a good life, like try and provide value to people. Yeah, it's an ethos you might not agree with, but if you're going to beat me in an argument about it, you're going to have to do it fair and square and not like, you know, cut the rug out from under me by just overcoming me on a linguistic level. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about integration. It's really just a survival skill. Or maybe not survival, but to fulfill my purpose in life, you know. And integrating in a sense of like, I don't know, getting good at driving in Germany compared to driving in the US, or whatever you might do differently. I don't know, ordering at a restaurant. Like, that's not really even about me. It has nothing to do with me honoring your culture. It has 100% to do with me trying to impress my wife, which I think is fair. Like, I want to be a good driver because I want my wife to feel like this is the very first person I would pick to drive on the Autobahn with. And we've all made our mistakes driving. I've definitely driven too fast on the Autobahn. More than once. But you know, my personal take on the Autobahn is, until it has a speed limit, you're better off going as fast as you possibly can. Because it's better to be the hammer than the nail in this case. Being constantly passed by people feels to me more dangerous than going 110 miles per hour so that you're constantly passing people. To me, I feel like I'm in more control. But as a passenger, you're not driving the car, so you don't feel like you're in control. It makes sense. Now to get to the part why does everyone like me? Not everyone likes me. Like, why do these people in this video like me? Or why do I get along well with like colleagues in general? It's just because they feel like I'm reflecting things back to them that it takes a considerable amount of consideration. It takes a good measure of listening and paying attention to what's going on. So be that their language or their culture, for some reason they feel like, and now I'm talking about this demographic of people who, to be perfectly honest, I'm trying to get rid of as a viewership, because the whole point of this channel is marketing. We're marketing Real Talk here, which is an app to learn languages, and the demographic of 98% men between the age of 45 and 65, these aren't the demographic of people who are going to download the app on the App Store. Unfortunately, I got into the wrong audience. That was not my target audience. Whatever they like about it is, they think, oh wow, this guy knows integration. Let me tell you something, buddy. I'm talking to that 98% or 92% men group here. This isn't integration, man. This is conquest. This is me trying to exert as much possible influence over my own surroundings as possible. And I said possible there twice, which is redundant. But that's all it is. And so if me getting people to like me by actually listening to them, whether or not I agree with them, they appreciate that I listen to them. And that's why they like me. And then at some point, there are people who don't like me because I've listened to their bullshit too long and called out the fact that it's bullshit. And, you know, there's a difference between lying and bullshit. I learned this in business ethics. This is a technical term, you know. Bullshit is, it's partly deception, partly self-deception, and actually believing something that's not true, but purposely not really looking into it, and then coming up with some kind of excuse that you really believe is legitimate and genuine, but it's not. It's bullshit. It's you not giving that topic enough examination, or giving yourself enough examination, and doing the whole self-awareness work to find out that what you're talking about, or what you're telling people to do, or whatever, your process that you've developed for your group or your team or your project or whatever it is, the actions don't line up with the words, and that's bullshit. The process doesn't line up with the purpose, that's bullshit. And you pick up on that pretty well when you start listening to people closely. And when you listen to people closely, well, it helps you mimic their pronunciation, and it also helps you to understand them and empathize with them, and people do like that. So that's why everyone likes me. And that's why I'm probably going to delete or make private pretty much all the videos from before this point, because it's just not a demographic of people I'm trying to cater to. Like, oh, look how good the American can integrate into Germany. Like I said, that's me practicing my own influence skills. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. And that is the power of language, because ultimately, when you're trying to win an argument or convince a person to do something right, you have to get that win, or that, I forget the word, I don't know what the word for convincement is, that convincing and argument winning statement. You have to use the emotions to get that person to feel it and then take action on it. Feel it and then take action on it. So you do have power to control other people's emotions. A lot of people in the New Age thing, you know, the whole New Age group, like your thoughts and emotions can't be affected by anyone else. No one can make you angry or make you sad. And yeah, you do ultimately have control over your thoughts and emotions, but you let people affect your emotions. At some point you might say, all right, I'm writing that person's opinion off because their character has shown to be really worthless. But until you get to that point, there are things that people can emotionally say that will emotionally affect you. And that's where you win an argument or help someone or really get someone to change their course of action, when their emotions have been influenced. And you can't really do that unless you have a strong ability in the physical language, the actual script, because we're all basically just on one big script here. That's the whole thing. We're using words that we didn't invent. They're tied to feelings, so that's real. And yeah, point being, if you want to have influence, you have to integrate in a sense. But well, you believe me, you guys, it is not out of reverence. It's not out of like deference. It's not even really out of pure respect. It's mostly out of my own interests. Like, I want you to understand me, but I also want you to feel me. And if I can't do that, then I need to work on my skills more on the language end. And it wouldn't matter what country I was in. That's just something you want to do if you're trying to have influence in the world. Everyone wants influence, I think, if they have improvements or whatever that they could see made. That's just a part of living a meaningful life, where you want to be able to help people. And in order to do that, a lot of times you need to guide them and change their course slightly and influence them. That's just the word influence. I don't know. Can't like go on and on about what that means, I guess. I'm just repeating the definition of the word. But yeah, that's my idea of integration, essentially. Or that's what's behind what you might sense as integration. Don't get me wrong, I do respect that different cultures do things different ways and blah, 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 but pretty much everyone's dehydrated. Pretty much everyone doesn't eat enough carbohydrates. Pretty much everyone thinks sugar makes you fat. So in almost no place in the world would I really have a reverence for the culture to the point where it's just like, yes, I want to become one of you guys, like a Buddhist or whatever. No, I don't. I'm doing my own thing over here, and I'm really happy to do that. And in a way, yeah, it makes me like kind of unique and special because I don't only speak American English, but yeah, it doesn't really do much for my resume. I mean, sure, there are little niches I could probably fit into, but I would probably not like the boss there. I mean, the likelihood is low. I probably would be complaining about the cafeteria there because it's not going to have enough vegan food in it. So ultimately, like as a career move, it's not really that important, but just on a life level move where I'm trying to be able to live as good of a possible life as I can where I am, yeah, obviously it's a skill you need to have. And that's just my own personal, like, trying to be someone who's a bit of a high achiever, trying to do like the best I possibly can. Yeah, so I can't believe this water still has not boiled. Is this stove even on anymore? All right, I'm all folded up here. See you in the next video. This is real talk. This is really, that is the definition.